Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA was taken to task during a TV47 interview to explain some complaints or some challenges he has been seeing in RUTO's regime.
The 6 million votes that RAILA got and the 7 million votes that the current president got, take away something, may end up being 8 million, because there is going to be huge exodus from ODM should RAILA decide to support RUTO. And there's also a lot of discontent among UDA supporters.
Now in this analysis, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you through that interview where KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA is unleashing massive bombshell on this regime. And according to KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA, if I may summarize his video, that KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA talks about ODM exodus. The truth of the matter is that there's going to be ODM exodus. People will leave ODM the moment RAILA Odinga throws his weight officially behind RUTO in 2027, because right now there is some political mix-up. RAILA talks about vying again. People talking about RAILA vying again. But the big question, is he going to vie there to lose because he knows he's going to lose? Or is he going to just vie there because he wants to spoil the votes in Nyanza for someone like Matiang'i? So say, for example, Matiang'i, if Matiang'i vies. KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA also hints at a possibility of UDA splitting. What he was trying to arrive at is that people should not think that RAILA's 7.9 million votes and RUTO's 8 million votes that were pronounced by Chebukati can sum up to 15 million. Ionekana kwamba that 15 million will be a sure ticket. He's saying that some people will leave UDA, some people will leave ODM. So the number is not going to be as projected, the 15 million. Maybe it can even be 1 million. Maybe it can be 8 million. Maybe it can be 5 million or 6 million or 10 million. So what he's trying to tell us that kuna watu watatoka waenda kwa support wa Munyoro. Kuna wale ambao wanatoka kwa sababu wamekasirika wataka kusupport mtu yote. So that is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. So I want us to go into KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA's video. But before you do that, kindly like this video, subscribe to our channel, and to our existing subscribers, I want to continue thanking you so much, because without you, this channel won't have grown. So without wasting much of your time, ladies and gentlemen, let us dive into this interview. This is what KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA said.
I'm not worried. I'm personally not worried. And I'm not worried also about us politicians agreeing on one presidential candidate. I'm optimistic, and at times my sixth sense informs me that we are likely to have one presidential candidate facing the current regime, unless RAILA on the eve of elections will again run. Because what I know is that 6 plus 7 is not necessarily 13 when it comes to political equation. The 6 million votes that RAILA got and the 7 million votes that the current president got, take away something, may end up being 8 million, because there is going to be huge exodus from ODM should RAILA decide to support RUTO. And there's also a lot of discontent among UDA supporters, and that exodus is likely to galvanize into creating one credible candidate on our side. And that I'm confident. What of course we may need to do is to fine-tune the process of getting that candidate, and also fine-tune the message that we ought to give to the people of this country, so that we don't just change from the current regime to another regime that may end up doing poorer than the current regime. The messaging is very important. Identifying the issues is also very important. And finally, agreeing on trying to harvest the frustrations of Kenyans is very critical, so that we're able to do away with the regime that is one-man show, and we create a team that is credible, a team that is believable. Many people at times wonder how Kibaki performed. Kibaki performed by letting those he had appointed get the free will and the leeway to make decisions as advised by their technical staff. Kenyans, and this is something very important, Fred, in every ministry, there is sufficient number of well-educated people with a lot of experience, and they have the capacity to run those ministries. But the main problem about this regime is that it is micromanaged by one individual who believes he knows everything just because he says he has a PhD degree. And the last time I knew, some of the best leaders do not necessarily have a lot of education, including the former Prime Minister of Britain, who left school at the age at Form 2 level. But is the person often quoted by many leaders all over the world, the late Winston Churchill. What I know about many leaders is the capacity to interpret what the public is thinking.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I agree with KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA's sentiments in that video, because it's true that Raila is not going to get the 100% support that he got, you know, of the votes that he got in 2022, the same to William Ruto. Maybe the people who voted for William Ruto, because there were 8 million as projected by the late Chebukati, maybe it's going to get out of the 8 million, maybe the 5 million will just disappear. Or maybe he'll say that vote ataganya marambili. Because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we're not trying to say that William Ruto will get 1 vote or 0 vote. There are people who still vote for him. But he's not going to get the 8 million support that he got. Because of course, Mount Kenya imeenda. There are other regions ambazo zimeendaenda pia. In fact, even in his own backyard to go yuko, kuna watu ambao pia hatampigia saizi, ambao walimpigia wakati ule. So that explains why KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA's point makes sense, that there is going to be exodus hata kwa UDA. You've already seen Malala as people who voted for a UDA candidate. Yeye pia hayuko. Inamaanisha wale wafuasi ambao walimpigia Ruto kwa sababu Malala pia hawatampigia. So votes ambazo UDA ziko nazo zitapungua maradufu. If you look at ODM's case, Raila currently kuna watu kama especially Kisii people, they will not vote for Raila. There are other people, especially even Mount Kenya, wale ambao walimpigia, some of them will not vote for Raila, like people like Sabina Cheke. They won't vote for Raila. So because they won't vote for Raila, if Raila decides to vie, it means even if Raila does not decide to vie and support William Ruto, in fact, is going to lose more votes again, because kuna wale ambao wamekuwa wakimpigia tu kwa sababu ni yeye. So here comes a scenario whereby amesupport mwingine. He is not going to get those votes, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why if you go by KIPRUTO ARAP KIRWA's maths, he tells us of 8 million. Kwamba hiyo ndio Ruto anaweza pata if elections are held. 8 million. So if this should happen, then Rigathi Gachagua's team itachukua urais. That is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.